Hello and welcome to Musoya. This is your space for powerful, impactful conversation. And today it's a special day for all of us because we are so honored to be having this conversation with such an inspiring woman from the African diaspora in the United States. So we will have our conversation today in English because Mrs. Gabriela Edong doesn't speak Bambara nor French, even
Yeah,
though she's making so much effort in French. And
yeah.
unfortunately, I don't speak Portuguese, so the language that's connecting both of us is English. So we will have this conversation today in English to talk about Gabriela's impact, the transformation, the mutation that she has undergone from being a young girl in Guinea-Bissau in West Africa to a corporate America financial person and now a president of an international NGO that is impacting young girls' life in the Columbus, Ohio area. Gabriela started LEAP, Leadership, Empowerment, Achievement, and Purpose to mentor young girl, specifically the young girl from immigrant parents. So it's with great pleasure that I would like for all of us to welcome today Mrs. Gabriela Edon of the LEAP NGO.
Thank you, Kumba. It's so great to see you here, my dear. It's been a couple of years now,
I
right?
know we were not going to talk about that.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for inviting me, and I am just so I'm your fan because you are doing some great work uplifting women and girls around the world. Really, you started in Mali, but it's across Africa and the world. Really, your
Oh,
message, your message
thank
is
you, thank you,
powerful.
thank you, thank you.
The work
We're
you're
trying
doing
to
is
walk on
amazing.
your footstep. So I
Yeah.
guess we're just gonna have a jingle and we'll come back right to start our great conversation. I'm looking forward to it.
Mosoya is your trusted voice for change, action, and hope, building a world that's more just and peaceful. Every week, we bring you bold conversations and powerful stories from Africa and the diaspora, with a special spotlight from resilient and impactful women. Musoya is your platform. Please suggest topics, recommend guests, and trust us with your message and announcements.
Musoya! Let's support womanhood!
Welcome, welcome, Gabriela, and welcome to all of you following us from Africa, diaspora, from around the world. We are truly honored to have you to receive today Gabriela Edom, the president of the international organization nonprofit LEAP, which is Leadership, Empowerment, Achievement, and Purpose. Gabriela, such a
Yeah.
pleasure to receive you. Before we start, I'm so intrigued. I wanted to know you and I go back from the 90s, where we both attended Central State University in
Yes.
Ohio as an undergrad student. And I remember you as being a finance major. So from the
Yes.
world of finance, I know you came back, you went to graduate school, started working for corporate America, and paf, I see Gabriela now as a development person. So how did that mutation happen from corporate America, a financial person, to now serving your community? What
Uh,
inspired you to really touch people's life and dedicate yourself in uplifting young girls?
Yes, thank you, Kumba, again. Thank you for having me here. It's such a pleasure. Of course, the inspiration goes way back, to my home country where I grew up, and as a young girl, and the type of things that I did all along, I didn't know was part of my inspiration. I was, a leader in my school. I took leadership. Roles of being class president, competing with boys in math and science, and to my church being a youth leader and teaching Bible to young kids. But really, the biggest inspiration happened when I returned home after my undergrad. and that I met this little girl that really changed my life. And so I can tell you a quick story about how that happened. So when I returned home, I was one day napping in my parents' home when I heard somebody knock on the door, and I came out to open the door, and I saw these three little beautiful girls. They might have been aged probably between 7, 8 to 11, no older than that. Three of them selling roasted peanuts. Out of the three, the youngest one really caught my attention. She had this beautiful smile and big eyes, and they were like modestly dressed and bare feet and selling peanuts. And I got peanuts. I bought peanuts for them. I asked them to come the next day. The next day, two of them showed up, and the third day, the one that really captured my heart showed up. And her name was Kadi. And so I started having conversations with her, asking her whether she was in school, and she told me no, she wasn't, because she needed to sell the peanuts. And I said, why? She said, because she was living with her grandmother, and her parents were living in the village. Anyway, I started quizzing her, noticed that she was really smart and she had the street smarts. I'm like, this girl needs to be in school. So I asked her, can you take me to your grandmother's house? And so she did. So I went to her grandmother, and I told her, try to make my point, try to make the grandmother believe that she needed to be in school. And I told her, can you let me have Kadi and put her in school? And she said, well, I cannot afford that because she sells peanut to support me.
Mm,
And I said, okay, right then and there, I just said, okay, what if I, make you an offer? What if I support you?
mm.
Would you let me have her and bring her to my home and put her in school? And so the answer was yes. So that little girl came and lived with me for a year, and she was absolutely smart, got into school, adapted well, and just blossomed that first year. But obviously, we got separated when the war broke out in 1998. And so obviously her family came from the village, got her with the grandmother, and I ended up leaving as a refugee,
Mm.
trying to run for my life. And so my life restarted back in the US, right? Went back to school, got my master's degree, but always thinking back to that little girl, that I knew that if she had some kind of education, she would have changed, she would have transformed her community. And that's what girls do. That's what women do, right? When we are educated, we invest in our community, we invest in our family. So her story really stayed with me. And I knew eventually I needed to do something to impact other girls. And so that's when everything started. So yes, I was in corporate and did all the things, leave the high corporate life and everything, and then started mentoring and started volunteering to mentor. So that's how her story, like I said, stayed with me. So through mentorship, through programs that I mentor with, I started meeting girls about her age that really also were going through, of course, in
Yeah.
underserved
Yes,
communities.
but you are currently really doing this in America, in the United States of America.
Yes,
So
yes, in the
which is
US.
one of the first, if not the first, uh, how do you say, economically advanced, scientifically advanced country in the world. But
Yes,
we're talking about Cadiz almost
yes,
30 years ago,
yes,
1998. That's 27 years,
yes,
and
yes,
up to today, if I'm not mistaken, things haven't changed much in
as
the
in,
side of the
yes,
world. You and I are coming from West Africa,
yes.
but
We know.
but you are doing it. So,
Yes,
do American girls, do immigrant girls in America still have the same challenges, or they do have challenges, but it's different kind than the
yes,
caddy, the peanut seller?
yes. So the Kadidi peanut seller is a different challenge, right? We know that's poverty related. But here we also have issues with poverty, right? Like we have the girls that I serve, most of them come from underserved communities. But I think the biggest challenge over here is actually the lack of self-worth, the feeling of I'm not good enough, the feeling that I'm not good enough to do this. I'm not enough to do math. I don't think I'm worth it, and all that. So I noticed that, and the studies have shown that the girls when they hit the middle school age, their self confidence and self esteem really dropped. It drops because of a lot of pressure, peer pressure, societal pressure,
Hormonal change, body growth transformation.
body transformation, and all that.
Pimples
So
start appearing on faces.
that's right. So body shaming and all that. So while I was mentoring, those are the things that I was picking up on. It's like, okay, these girls are smart, but they don't think they are. They don't think that they can do this. They don't think that they are good enough. And so that was really part of what I thought. Okay, I had this smart girl, but couldn't be in school because she was poor, or she didn't have the means to be in school. But then yet here we have the schools available, right? But yet we have these girls in school, but yet they don't feel like they're good enough to do, things that a boy can do. You know what I mean? So to me, that was an opportunity to say, okay, what can I do to raise their self-esteem? What can I do to make sure that they are confident, that they become leaders in their community? And so that's really the motivation of starting Leap. And like I said, I was volunteering for a long time, for many years. And then one of the programs that I was in, all of a sudden lost funding, right? We know that nonprofit depends a lot on funding. And so the goals that I was serving, and all of a sudden found themselves hanging, even though the program was being impactful in helping them really achieve their goals and helping them become leaders that they need to be. So that program ended. There was no funding. So I was like, okay, these goals cannot just be left like this. I need to do something about that. That's when the Leap actually got born. And I felt like, okay, I have to step out and just take a leap of faith and start something, because I already know what the needs are. I already
So this
know that
was now in 2000, going fast forward. So in 2006 or 16,
this was in,
2016, it's
no,
2016
2019.
or
So 2016 I
2019.
started, yeah, 2016, that's when I was started really getting involved with the Big Brother Big Sisters, and then another community organization that is actually in town here in Columbus. So I was starting to be a little more involved
Aware.
into mentoring. Yeah. So but Leap actually was born in 2019.
Okay. So from
So
2019 to now, 6 years
yes.
after,
Hmm.
how do you feel? You feel you're making an impact? Do
Oh,
you have any powerful stories of transformation that was brought to some young girls' life? How are the
absolutely.
parents also receiving such an initiative? How are the parents trusting you to mentor, to coach, to really accompany the daughters?
Yes. So yeah, huge impact, Kumba. So when I started out, like I said, I had not, I mean, I started with nothing. It was a leap of faith. That's actually why it's called leap. So I started out with two schools and 22 girls. Okay. 22 little girls of 10, 11 years old. And now, almost 6 years later, we've served over 400 girls. Okay, so that's
Wow.
just to put it in perspective. But when you talk about the impact, I mean, it's huge. There's stories and stories I can barely, share with them. But what I can tell you is that the mission of the organization, like I said, is to educate, inspire, and empower girls to be leaders. And the way we do it through four areas of programming, right? So we focus on social emotional wellness, like we know that that's like a number one, and we started doing that before pandemic, by the way. That was the pillar of my organization. I wanted the girls to feel that they belong, to feel that they're good enough, all those social, pressures that they were feeling from society. So we focus on social emotional, we focus on financial literacy. We know how important it is, for girls to manage their money and be self,
Absolutely.
independent later. And we do leadership, of course. That's, training them to have their voices heard, to stand up and to be able to speak up when things are not well, when things are not right. And last but not least, we started the STEM a year later after I started the program. So within
STEM, which
all,
is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Now we actually incorporated art into it. So we started with a STEAM camp, and includes science, technology, engineering, art, and math. So now with 4 years, so let me tell you another story. So with all this impact, the impact is immense. I can just tell you that once I started my program in 2019, the first huge impact that happened is that we literally saved a life of a 10-year-old who was planning to commit suicide because of the pressure that she had. But because of my program, she had a great relationship with the mentors. She actually confided in that mentor that she tried to do that the day before, and then the day after we had a program and she confided in her. So I had to escalate that and got help for that girl. So we literally saved a life. I mean, literally within not even a year of the program starting, right? But then, if you remember, we started in 2019. Less than 6, 7 months later, pandemic
COVID.
hit,
Mm.
right? So pandemic hit, which brought a lot of challenges. But I can tell you that, like, not only the number of girls grew, the girls that I started with the girls, like I said in previous program, they were like in fifth, sixth grade, now have graduated, went to college, are now back, even in college, coming back full circle, mentoring, into the program. They're still with the program. So I have loyalty in families that stayed with the program for many years, and girls that actually are coming out of their shells, especially the first generation African girls who didn't think that their voice were important. They didn't think that they fit in, didn't think that they belong. They all are now becoming leaders. I've taken some of them to DC and all that, so I'll tell you more about that. But the fact that we also ignited interest in girls for STEM was huge. I remember when we started our STEM, we started it because of pandemic, right? So during pandemic, 95% of the girls that I was serving did not have even a computer or internet connection in their
In the
home
United States,
in the United States. So I had to step out of my comfort zone, reach out to organizations, and thankfully, Microsoft and other national and then local organizations stepped in. I received donations of computers and hotspots. I was literally driving around in the middle of pandemic, dropping off computers because I wanted to get those girls back online. So that's the challenge, right? So we had that challenge, but we overcome that challenge. That's when I realized, wait a minute, we need to do something in STEM. These girls need to understand that it's important, and we know that the world is moving towards that area. So now we went from having girls that we surveyed at the beginning that said 12% of them, only 12%, said that they think they could do STEM, right? They
at
were
the
not
beginning,
at the
only
beginning.
12%.
They did not believe that they could do STEM, right? So now, fast forward 4 years, 5 years that we've been doing that. Now we are over almost 70% that are actually now considering a field of study in STEM. And
Wow.
that tells you that they are now seeing themselves able to do things that they didn't believe before they could.
That's true transformation. In the
Yes,
beginning, if you had 10 women, less than two were confident young girls that they could embrace science. And
yes.
6 years after, 7 out of 10, because it was in
Are
them. They
now,
just needed to believe and be
yes,
guided towards that. But
that's all they need.
as you were talking, so many questions are in my mind.
Yes.
But the first one, first of all, I would like to ask is the difference between mentorship and coaching, because we hear so much coaching, especially back home in Africa. Everybody's becoming a coach, a personal development coach. Is there a difference between coaching and mentoring, or is the same?
Yeah, no, I think there is a difference. In my opinion, mentorship is usually based on a volunteer basis. It's a relationship driven dynamic, right? So somebody's volunteering to mentor you, and that person is usually experienced and serves as a role model to you, and is a trusted advisor, right? He's helping you see things that you don't see for yourself. It's providing you guidance, it's giving you wisdom, it's helping you achieve your short and long term, not only professional but personal goals. Whereas coach, I think for me, coaching is like a structure, sometimes a formal arrangement, and sometimes even paid. right? There are trained individuals that are helping you achieve your goals, but very, very specific goals, or maybe very specific areas that you want to excel in. And sometimes they might not even be your role model, right? They can be your coach, but maybe not necessarily your role model.
That is
So
true.
mentors are people that you look up to that you feel like, hey, this I can be this person, or that person has some qualities or some personal traits that you look forward that you look to have, right? And it's all relationship driven, to my to my understanding. My personal opinion of mentorship is all relationship based. If you have a mentor that really hasn't connected with a child, or even yourself as an adult, you have to have some kind of relationship building, relationship dynamic, that you trust that person and that person trusts you, and that person will be willing to do whatever she or he can to make sure that you achieve your goal, to make sure that you are remaining accountable to what you said you want to do. So that, to me, that's a mentor. So that's the difference I
Yes, I
see
see the
between the
difference.
coach.
I guess
Yeah.
there is more similarity between somebody who mentor and the mentoree, because they
Yes.
share the same desire, the same vision, the same passion, but the mentor has more experience that she's willing to give out of
Yes.
love, out of compassion, out of engagement to the
Volunteer.
mentoree. But
Yes.
coaching may not necessarily share the same deep vision, but it's more transactional, I can say.
Yes,
Uh,
so coaching is more transactional. A
yeah,
great mentor will help you overcome self-doubt, be accountable, navigate life experiencing challenges, and it's really truly a trustworthy, trusted relationship type of, and for a lifetime. There are mentors that remain a lifetime mentors in your life. You know what
mm,
I mean?
mm, mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for clarifying that. I think also all of the people that are watching us at this time that have tuned in to follow Mrs. Gabriela Edonk. So we are with a powerful, a life transformative leader from Columbus, Ohio, and the one that are joining us from Africa and beyond. We thank you for your trust, and we really want for you to also put your comments. If you have any experience with mentoring, if you have any successful stories, or if you had challenges, please do mention them in the comment section. We will be very happy to hear from you. And also for the ones that want to connect with us, we are on all the social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can also follow us there. And if you also want to reach us, we are on WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number is plus 223 7060. Ok, Augustin, tu vas mettre le numéro ici, hein. Il faut que je regarde. I
Yeah,
forgot the
let's
number.
support womanhood.
Okay, so the ones that want to connect with us via WhatsApp, the number is plus 223 7030 6030. Plus 223 7030 6030. We are very grateful and honored to continue our conversation with the president and founding member of the LEAP organization, which is the Leadership, Empowerment, Achievement, and Purpose, an organization dedicated to help young girls achieve their dream, particularly from underdeveloped and immigrant community. We are African. African, we always have to have proverbs.
Yes.
There is a saying in my country, and I'm sure you also have it in Guinea-Bissau, in your local language and Portuguese version, that says that if you want to go fast, you go
Yes.
alone. But once you want to go far, you have to be in a team.
Yes.
Or we also say that only with one finger, you can't pick up a stone. You need all the fingers to work together to achieve something. So you
Absolutely.
mentioned the great mentors that are accompanying you, that
Yes.
are sharing your vision with the LEAP program.
Yes.
How did you come about to having this mentor? How do you recruit them? How is the process going at today?
Yes.
6 years after launching, how many mentors do you actively have for the 400 girls you have touched?
Yes, so we have almost close to 30 mentor. Well, throughout the years we have more
Mm,
than that. But of course, with pandemic, things change. We slim down a little bit, and so right now, as of this past year, we are between 25 to 28 mentors, right? And mentors, when I say mentors, the people that serve, because I have two schools that I work with, right? So I have elementary school, and then I have high school. The high school that serve mostly first generation African students and other, minorities. And so, but my mentors have been with me for years, those that actually remain. And again, that's why it's important to have some kind of stability. For me, the stability and having like a reliable mentor, the person that is actually going to show up for that goal, it's absolutely crucial. So I'd rather have less mentors and have quality mentors and mentors that are actually going to be there for the benefit of that goal. What you don't want to do is having girls that are really already struggling with their self-doubt and all these things that are going on, the issues at home, and then you have a person that shows up for them, and then 2 days later they disappear, and
mm,
that's almost like a sense of abandonment. So
mm,
my mentorship circle is quite small, I would say, in
mm,
comparison to others, but quite consistent. So I have
mm.
mentors since I started mentoring with the other programs that I've met through the other program, mentors that I've, friends that I've made in my corporate world life. They all came together to support me, and they are still there. Some of them became part
Kudos
of
to you.
my
Kudos to
work.
you. Very good. Very good.
Yes.
Like you
So
say,
yeah,
that the stability is important. We're talking about
very much so.
quality, not quantity. And we're
Yes.
talking about results, impact,
Result.
but
Yes.
it's not like just visibility. So
Yes.
really, I commend you, I salute you, and we celebrate you, Gabriela, and all your team.
Thank
You
you.
said that you're working with two schools. How
Yes.
does that relation come about? Did you pick up the school or the school picked you? And
Okay.
I can imagine we are in the United States with a lot of people that are very sensitive and how do you say very careful, which they need to be. It's not
Yes.
like in Africa we let the child. It's a village that raise a child. People are
Yes.
very close here. So
Yes.
how do they come to trusting you? Do you have to undergo some background checks with your mentor, fill up some legal documents for you to be so close to somebody else's kids?
Yes, absolutely. All my mentors have to be subjected to a very,
I can imagine.
yeah, a complete background check, because of course they're dealing with children, right? And myself included. So the schools that I started with, like I started with elementary schools. Those are schools that I had already had relationship with while I was volunteering through other programs and mentoring. So when I decided to start LEAP, I went back to those schools, to those principals, and say, hey, I want to start this. I want to continue what the previous program was doing, but didn't get completed. So again, it was based on a relationship building, based on trust, and based on the values that I also showed. So those schools really accepted me, but the high school where I'm serving over sometimes 100 students, they actually seek me out. So they learn about LEAP, and they came, ask me if I would like to come into the school and serve, those goals. So that relationship also has been fantastic for the past 3 years. I mean, I've served over, 300 students just from that school alone. And so, yeah, it's all based on relationship. It's all based on trust. It's based on the quality of the program that you provide. So I work with counselor and licensed professionals, for instance, to deliver, especially programming in social emotional piece, on financial literacy. It's a partnership with JP Morgan Chase. So we've been partnered for the past 3 years to provide, financial education to not only the girls, but the families as well. And so again, it's quality over quantity. So I make sure that I'm having experts and people in the field to actually provide, a solid curriculum for the girls.
I'm so curious because I understand the STEM part, I understand the mentoring part, I understand the leadership, the emotional security, the emotional uh, coaching and support. I understand that part. But
Yeah.
also as an African woman, and we know that we don't talk so much about money. So
Yes.
the financial literacy is really a serious problem within our communities as Black people, as African people. Could you
Yes.
please explain to us when you say you do financial literacy, not only with the girl, with the families, and thanks to Chase for that support for accompanying you, what do you really do? What is it? Do parents need to go to class with somebody, a financial person from Chase, saying this is how you balance your checkbook, this is how you do your budget? Could you tell us a little bit about it? I'm curious.
Yes. So yeah, absolutely. We know that financial literacy, is critical for equity, for empowerment, and for economic freedom, right? So along with STEM, we know career and STEMs are the fastest, growing in the highest paying. So I always, having my background in finance and working in banks and understanding, the ins and outs of banking. Black women make less than, I mean, they're not so versed into the financial component of what it is to balance a check, what it is to understand budgeting, what it is to understand your credit score, and all those issues that are actually affecting, impacting them from becoming a full independent, financially sound person when they are not educated in those fields. So my partnership with Chase is as follows. I wanted to make sure that not only girls are introduced to this financial concept, which is budgeting, savings, and all the things, the budgeting, balancing your checkbook and all that, but also for families who are mostly moms to also understand those concepts, because I believe that in my program we always support families, because it goes back to what happened to Kadir, right? So if I could not support her family, I couldn't have had her, you know what I mean? And here I feel like if I impact the family, is a trickle down effect. So what Chase does, we have a program that we call Mother Daughter Financial Wellness. So we bring the moms together and the girls together, and they come in and do a session on whether it's a credit, whether it's budgeting, whether it's saving, and they make it so fun and so engaging, to make sure that the girls are understanding at a very early age what it is to manage your money, how you should manage your money. The same thing for the families, to understand what it is, what can you do with the life insurance, what can you do with your 401k, and all those basic knowledge in financial world. So I am grateful, like I said, for the past 3 years to be partnering with Chase on that. And I'm telling you, it's such a, breathtaking every time we have those sessions, because even moms that are already with the children in college don't understand even the basic concept of what it is that, okay, if I want to boost my child's credit score, what can I do, right now, even though their child is young? What can I do? Can I create an account and put her name on, even though she's not using the card, but I can be responsible enough to pay those bills, so that credits, when that child is out of high school, she can be able to purchase a home, she can be able to purchase a car with a high score, already at our favor. So those are the type of concept that we're trying to instill at a very early age
Very
to make sure.
important concept. Very
Yeah,
important concept. Like we say in French, l'argent c'est le nerf de la guerre. Money, if you don't deal with money, you will never achieve the
exactly.
freedom that
Exactly.
you aspire to.
The
So it's
financial
very, very
freedom.
critical that we all become financial savvy, financial intelligent, so we can make the best decision for ourselves and our future. Thank you
Exactly.
very much, Gabriela, for this initiative of yours that's transforming lives, that has been transforming life for the past 6 years. We also thank you very much, our great audience, people who always tune in to our weekly program, Musoya, that is that aims to really bring you powerful conversation, inspiring story from all over the world, specifically with African diaspora. And you can always react to our show via the comment section. We are on all your digital platforms. Look us up, subscribe to us, and share the information. We also want to know how do you feel about Gabriela's LEAP program, specifically on the topic of financial inclusion, on the topic of financial education, especially with mom and girls together. Our WhatsApp number, if you want to give us a call and propose to us a team or somebody who we can have on our program, is plus 223 7030 6030. We will be right back.
Musoya! Let's support womanhood!
Thank you so much, Gabriela. It's such a pleasure and
Yes. I
uplifting.
wanted to add one more thing on the financial literacy component, right?
Uh-huh.
And it goes back to, again, the mission of my organization, which is empowerment, right? With empowering girls with knowledge to be, the leader that they can be. So financial literacy is really a way to break cycles of poverty. You know that, right? So there's a quote that says, when a girl learns to manage her money, she's not only planning her future, but she's rewriting her family's story. So we want to empower these girls to break that cycle, to break that narrative, and rewrite the stories of their family, by learning this concept that will set them free and have financial freedom when they grow up.
Hey, who doesn't want to be free? We all want to be free.
Yes.
Gabriela, I want to ask you about an issue that I've been discussing with so many women, mature
Okay.
women lately.
Uh-huh.
Because as I'm hearing you talk and I'm hearing you sharing the great impact you have been achieving, the transformation you've been seeing right before your eyes. But we are African, we are Black people, we are
Mm-hmm.
social beings. And we know there is a certain mal-être, there is a certain, how do you say it? We are not feeling good.
Yeah.
We are not at ease with our Black men. Our
Yeah.
families are being torn apart. So many divorce, so many violence. But don't you feel like you just say if you empower a girl, especially with financial, you break the cycle of poverty. You allow us, you allow her to change the narrative and the story of her family. But
Mm-hmm.
what I have seen through the age is like as we grow in security, as we grow in confidence,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, some of our men become so scared of us.
Right.
And unfortunately, I have two boys and two girls. And I'm not too sure the gender of your kids, if you want to talk about it. But
Yeah,
as
I have
a man,
two boys
as,
and a girl.
and you know, it's so easy to raise the girls.
Yeah.
The
Well,
boys, I'm sorry, we love
easy
the
was
journey.
that.
Mommy is the boy. But it's so hard. You need to repeat everything 10,000 times. And they break promises. But when the girls say, Mommy, I got it, I'll take care of it. I set the alarm. You don't need to be after them.
Right.
But don't you think it's about time for us that have chosen to dedicate and to share a little bit of our
Mm-hmm.
knowledge, of our uh, power, of our being with others? Is it not time that we also look at uplifting the Black men?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, that is absolutely important. And there needs to be a conversation that includes the man. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, once a girl grows up and becomes confident, becomes self, reliant, and become, independent, it's almost kind of like intimidating to the men that they might be with, right? And especially in this environment that you have situations where sometimes the mom works and the, and it's true, most of the black women actually are becoming the first breadwinner in the house, right? So then, maybe the fathers decide to stay home and care for the children. So there needs to be this communication at a very early age, even when we're talking about empowering a girl. We need to also be teaching that boy how to appreciate and value that girl, right? And vice versa. So there needs to be a communication. Of course, my program starts with the girl because that's what my heart is. But I do know that there is such an important piece is missing, which is, there are some programs that are addressing boys as well. But of course, it also starts at home, right? Having that role model figure, a father who can really instill those values and thing in that boy, that when he grows up, that he knows how to value their goal, where he knows how to compromise. And so it's a compromise. When you are in a relationship, is you got to compromise, and sometimes it requires honest communication. So whether we need a more program for boys, we absolutely do, especially in this country where, a black male, it's almost like a menace to society. So we do need programs that are going to be really uplifting the boys as well. But I'm telling you, if you empower families as well, if that family is empowered, that family is going to empower that child or that child, that boy or that girl that she has, or the mom has, or whether she's a single mom or in a marriage. Yeah, I don't have a specific answer to tell you, but I do know that it's important to
No,
really
I
have
think it's
similar
fine. I just wanted
programs.
to have your take and also see that if you are also one of the women person that agrees that there is indeed, like you said, a menace to society, not even in the United States of America, also
Right.
very much back home. I don't
Or
know when was the last time you visited our region, but even back home, we have more divorce today as
oh,
we have marriage. And
yes.
we also have a lot of domestic violence within
That
couples,
is, yes, yes,
femicides, very brutal. I can't even go into stories. Women being stabbed 37 times,
yes,
women being
yes,
shot by the husbands who was supposed to be protecting them and being the breadwinner of a family
yes.
where the kids look up to. But what is happening for the men to snap
Yeah.
and become
I
so
think
violent?
I
So,
think
like
a
you
Cuba.
said, I think
Hmm.
that's the solution. We need now to be more aware of the issue. We need now to reach out to the board, like, 20 years ago, 50 years ago. mm, We were talking about empowering the young girl and including the young girl. I think today, if we ought to change how we are going to be as a family, as a people, 30, 50 years down the road, I think it's about time, it's urgent
It
that we
is
also
urgent.
reach out to the black man.
Kumba, that has a lot to do also of mindset shift, right? So when you talk about African culture for centuries, man is the provider. Man is the leader of the home. A woman is supposed to just be home and take care of the family, right? Now things have shifted. Now the women are having their career, they're having their job. And so therefore, like I said, it becomes almost intimidating. It becomes almost like they're going against the value of the society that once said a man is supposed to be the leader of the family.
No,
Therefore, that
Gabrielle,
said,
I'm sorry. I will need to disagree with you here.
yeah, no, I'm,
No,
I'm talking
I
about
disagree
mindset
with
shift.
you because
Hmm.
I think for centuries, African communities, African families have been complementary because we all come from matriarchal societies.
Yes.
But it's our history that has been distorted. But that's our responsibility to find out, to be educated, and to know where we're coming from. Because if you don't know where you're coming from, you will never know where you're heading to. But I think as we're not going to continue to eternally blame our past,
Yes. No, no.
colonization, slavery, but
Mm-mm.
that also have very much distorted our stories, our narrative, the way we see things. But if you
Right.
review our history from Kemet, since Egypt, in the centuries, far of time, we
Mm-hmm.
know that women have never been behind men,
Mm-hmm.
either leading side by side or ahead.
Mm-hmm.
because in all our culture, mom, the woman is sacred. How do you say? You worship her.
Yes, in some African culture for sure. Yeah, woman is
Yes,
worship. But I'm saying as time, like you said, with the influence of every, the colonization and all the other things that came along, there was a mindset, there was a cultural shift, I would say, maybe a mindset shift that right now, when you talk about those men that are violent to their women, and you can see deep inside, a lot of it has to do with jealousy, or maybe
oh,
their woman
definitely, definitely.
that woman became
Yes,
successful in her career. Therefore, that man is seen as somebody who is not able to possibly maybe be as a key role model or key man of the family because that woman now, her success is more. You see what I mean? So I'm talking about having
absolutely,
those
absolutely.
conversations to kind of get to that point that, hey, this woman, her success is your success and your success is her success, right? It's about getting that communication, getting boys, aware
Gabriela,
of
how
that.
can
Yeah.
her success be your success when you have five, four, five, seven wives?
Well, that's another story.
That's your success is one quarter of my success because I have
That's
four of you. So that's
yeah,
another issue we will talk about later on. But
that's another story.
we
Yeah.
just to really be in touch with our culture, to be
Yes.
able to laugh about the challenges what that we face as an
Yes.
African woman, as women of African descent. So talking about challenges, when we come back to you, to the
Yes.
LEAP organization, your NGO that is really doing miracles, that is impacting so many lives in the Columbus area in Ohio. What have been some of the challenges? Because you mentioned your first involvement with an organization, unfortunately, that had to close because of lack of funding.
Yes.
So for LEAP, how is it happening? You, because I know that United States of America now is having a lot of challenges because all of the DEI, the diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are being suspended. So
Yes.
is that affected your organization?
Well, not so much yet, right? But I
Okay, we
know
pray, we cross
it,
fingers that it doesn't
yes,
happen.
we cross fingers, right? But yeah, there are a lot of challenges, especially in the nonprofit field, and the number one of them is really funding, right? Like you talk about it. Funding is an issue. Raising enough fund to really run your organization could be somewhat challenging. So then you rely on grant, you rely on individual donors and so forth. So yeah, funding is always the number one, probably I would say across all the nonprofit organizations, challenges that the organizations face. Of course, you also have the ability to, like I said, recruit reliable mentors. People that their background is clean, that will be reliable, that will be there, to support that child that you're trying to empower. And so there is a lot of other challenges, which is the space, having a permanent location to do your programming, and you got so it requires a lot of partnerships. So I function a lot highly with the local partnerships and national partnerships, or which with organizations that are able to support my vision, who believe in my vision and are able to support. So now I know that there's a lot of other nonprofits that are heavily reliant on the federal, funding, which could be, facing some challenges right now. But yeah, some challenges that I've faced, of course, again, like I said, is finding that niche that you can rely on, that stream of income that will be able to support the work you're doing, finding a reliable mentor, just because you're dealing with people and relationship building, across the board, whether it's with partners locally or national or internationally. That counts a lot, which means you have to constantly be out there and pitching your mission, and making sure that people understand what is that you're doing, and sharing your impact. So yeah, so there are some various challenges, but this is one what I'm sharing as far as what I face. But through it all, so for instance, I'll tell you, other ways that we impact, that we empower our girls. And this started about 2 years ago with a partnership that I had with the Mentor National. This is a mentor organization that support the entire mentor mentor organizations around the country. Is that I'm able now every year to take a number of girls to Washington DC, to Capitol
Mm.
Hill, to actually meet with our representatives. You're talking about Joyce Betty, you're talking about a couple of years ago we couldn't do that, right? But through the partnership we are able to attend the Mentor National Summit, which is a week long in January. I am able to, so far these past 2 years, I've taken 8 girls and 4 chaperones to just kind of go to the Capitol Hill, meet with our representatives, and this is a way to build them up and know that their voices matter, that they can go and express what is that the mentorship is doing to their lives. And we're talking to our representative that we vote for, that we have
Yes,
over there.
and also
You know,
see decision making at its best. So
exactly.
that add to the
And
dreaming,
yes,
because we want women to be in politics. We want
yes,
women to be around the
that
table
yes,
because we know where they are. The
that's right.
decision will be so inclusive.
So being in their space and looking at, and imagining themselves being able to also do that kind of work is incredible. So from those experiences, just these 2 past years, the girls that I've taken came back so inspired. And some of them already started a program in their own school. Some of them went on to start their own little STEM program, their own little, leadership program. Their own, so based on just being exposed to that environment and meeting with the staff members and people and seeing other young people working in that space is tremendous. So that was possible due to our, like I said, a lot of relationship building with the local and
Mhm,
national
mhm,
organizations and partners
mhm.
that allow us to be able to do stuff like that. So that's another way of empowering, making this goal believe that, hey, you are a leader, your voice matters, you can sit here and tell them your story, and you are voting for them. They're working for you, they need to hear you. And so that's a way for us to show them, that they to practice their public speaking, because that's part of being a leader, right? Being able to speak up. And so it's been a tremendous impact as well, even though we are going with small numbers, but the impact is huge. When they come back, it's just amazing what their mind is telling them to do. So
Mm,
it's important, yes.
okay. So, after 6 years since you first started the LEAP initiative, are you still only in the Columbus area, or you also reaching out to other cities within the state of Ohio?
Right now, for now, we are still only in Columbus, but of course, the goal is eventually not only reaching out to other states, but also internationally, because we are serving a very, diverse group of girls. So yeah, for now, we are in Columbus, but the goal and the dream is to expand, in a couple of years down the road. So yeah, and we know that our STEM program has become so successful. We actually getting ready, gearing towards another STEAM summer camp coming up in July. And so we've built this pipeline of goals that are all of a sudden ready to be in the field of STEM. And we know that Columbus is becoming a hub for STEM. And so this is a way for us to continue to empower these girls, because it's going to allow them to get a better paying job and be in a position to do things that they never dreamed they could do. So
Get
I
a
think
better paying job and being the next generation of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. Why
that's
not?
right.
We
That's
need
right.
we need
Why not?
women again in science. They don't only need a job. They also need to create and be bosses.
They need to be inspired. They need to know that
Yes,
they can do it. Exactly. And so I always make a
definitely.
point of involving females who are also in the STEM field to come and speak to the girls, to come do sessions, so that they can
Awesome.
look at themselves and see that themselves in that person.
So
Yes.
the summer camp, how does it work? Do you actually go somewhere for a certain period of time? How does the summer camp work?
So the summer camp, when we started with a week-long summer camp, right? Like we include STEM, we include art, we social, emotional, financial education, career development, and all that. And it was so successful. This year we were granted a bigger grant, so we are going to expand it to 2 weeks of programming. So it's a day programming, so we go from 9 to 3 or 4. So I have all these instructors that are licensed and professional in their field that will come and deliver curriculum to the girls within that time frame. So yeah, it's this year is the first year that we actually expanded to 2 weeks because of the demand again, of girls that are really really now interested in learning more about STEM. So we were grateful to get a great funding from the city of Columbus that acknowledged the work we're doing in that field. Yeah.
Awesome. Anything we can do to help, pass the message, add to the visibility, don't hesitate to share so we can
Absolutely.
also, and also if there are any sessions that are taped, so people who have not been lucky enough to join the camp for the 2 weeks can maybe have some learning they can take digitally for remotely
Yes.
through some of the sessions that can go live or some of the sessions that can be recorded and then share with others to also pick up remotely and add to their own skills and talents.
Yes, you hit the
Gabriela, we're
right.
almost reaching the end of our show.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know if you had something specific that you wanted to share that I didn't touch on.
No, I think you touch on most of the things, and I want I'm just grateful to be in your platform for you to kind of this is an awareness for us to also have people in diaspora or back home know of this program. Like I said, the goal is eventually to expand internationally as well, which means being somewhere in Africa, right? So yeah, but I think the work you do in Kumba, it really goes along almost similar to the work we're doing. Of course, your field is slightly different, but it's all about empowerment, right? So we want our female our girls to be empowered to be the female leaders that they can be tomorrow, right? So you're doing a great job in doing that in the areas that you are focusing on, especially women. And I'm trying my best to do it with the girls as they grow and become that woman, that
You're not
mommy now.
trying, you're doing. You're not trying, you actually
Yes,
really
I am
doing.
doing it. I am
Congratulations, you are
doing it.
doing big time. And we
Yes,
are
thank
so
you. I
so grateful
appreciate it.
to have you. So what are the next steps? When can we look forward to receiving LEAP in Africa? At least for
Oh,
maybe a summer camp, an African tour, general tour, because these are immigrant kids mainly that you
absolutely.
are working with.
Yes. Yes.
So I guess some of them don't really know much about the African culture, where the parents came from. So it
Yes.
may be nice to also think about.
Absolutely. I'm
Yes,
already thinking about it here. I'm already thinking about a possibility of taking a group to one of the countries in Africa and actually have a program in there and inviting other girls locally to join. So yeah, you and I will continue this conversation. I'm sure we will be partnering in other
definitely,
things.
definitely. I look forward to being
Absolutely.
your right hand woman
Yes,
for
I appreciate
making
it.
changes or at least connecting people in West Africa so our kids here and our kids back home can join hands and continue doing miracles because I know
Yes,
they are born into greatness and they will be achieving very, very good things that we have not been able to do. And
I
that's our
agree.
dream for our kids.
That's the
Um,
dream. Yes.
I wanted to ask you a question that I forgot. How
Yes.
is the recruitment for the LEAP program? How does it happen?
Okay.
Girls sign up voluntarily or the school? It's the two schools that propose some kids to you.
Yeah, so the recruitment has been really organic, right? Like organically grown because, if a mom has a daughter and they like the program, go tell another mom. But the recruitment really happens the following way. So we usually, like I said, because I'm working with those schools, so usually those girls automatically become, part of Girls Leap going forward because not only we do the school based programming, we also meet on Saturday, which we call our sister circle, right? That's a weekend programming that we do once a month. And so So those girls usually naturally transition into that. So the recruitment a lot of time happens in schools, right? Because we already have a pipeline that really literally moves in. But again, it also happens organically with other parents, recommending. So we never really did like a massive recruitment out there, but because again, like I said, I want quality more than quantity. So I like to make sure that my numbers are supported by the ladies and the mentors that are able to support me. So the biggest thing that we're planning to do next year first is recruiting the right volunteers. Once we have a good pipeline of volunteers, then we will really expand our recruitment towards the school. Like there are other schools that want the program in there, but again, we need the right support. We need the right, not only people support, but financial support to be able to really do something with quality. So we are growing, steadily every year, but we don't want to just kind of go out and, recruit like in massive if we don't have the right structure in place to support that recruitment. So yeah, it's happening.
Awesome, awesome. I
So
know
and
this.
we do put stuff on social media because we are required, especially when we get the funding for summer camp, for instance, we'll put flyers out. But a lot of time, like I said, it's mostly the families that we already have and some other partners that we have locally also that we do exchange. They send their girls to us, we send ours to them, and so forth. But yeah, so it just happens mostly between the school and organically with the families and friends. Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations. You talk about the Sister Circle on Saturday. Our
Yes.
show, airs on Saturday every week. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit more about the Sister Circle because I think we're having a mini Sister Circle at this moment. You and I being sister
Yes.
and having this conversation with all of the people that are joining us. So a typical Sister Circle, what do we talk about?
Yeah, so a typical sister circle, I'm telling you, sister circle is like in my heart because it's really a group mentoring where we bring together girls, their moms, their mentors, and anybody that supports Girls League, right? So it's really building that sisterhood type of the feeling, like having a lot of social emotional learning sessions, a lot of leadership. And what we do, we bring in female leaders that are actually out there in the community to come in and talk to the girls in various different topics. I mean, they can range from body image to wellness to leadership to financial. So it's just a variety of different topics that we usually survey the girls to find out what they would like to learn. So we bring in those leaders for those kind of conversations, and a lot of time it actually happened. We had our last sister circle of last year. What we did, we actually brought in a panel of all moms who are actually in the program with their children to talk about the challenges and triumphs of their lives so that
Mm,
those girls can really resonate, can really relate to some of the struggles, some of the challenges that the moms are. I'm telling you,
absolutely.
that was the most amazing because in African culture moms don't usually like to share some things with their daughters, right? So this was a way for us to improve that communication between their mother and their daughter, to for their daughter to give grace to that mom when things are not going well in her life, and they can, if they understand where she's coming from. And we do stuff like social, we do mother daughter self-care. Self-care sessions are more like bringing their mom with their daughter together to talk about mental health, talk about taboos, things that are in the society that are pressuring, that are making families struggle. And then at the same time provide that mom and their girl the time to spend together and literally pamper themselves, from anything from shoulder massages to doing nails to doing to just having a good time together and doing art. And so the sister circle is part of our really awesome once a month event that
Wow.
we
I
everybody,
look at it as like a healing session
it is
because
a healing
healing is
session.
also prevention.
Yes,
And
it is.
the
It
things
really
that you
is.
are doing, it's amazing. Wow.
It's strengthening the family, creating prevention from any issues, from girls running out of the house. And so, addressing all those teenager challenges that the moms face,
In today's
facing
digital era where our kids are always on the
social
phone
media.
and
Yes,
everything seems to be so perfect, because social media gives you an idea, like, life is about always beautiful, or it's not
absolutely.
always that. It's about
Yes,
sometimes doubt.
yes,
You fail, you
yes,
get up even stronger, and you
yes.
continue. So
You
having
continue.
this truthful, open conversation with mom to
Yes,
open up about some reality of life, I think can be quite eye-opening. And then people, because think something that you don't know you can't fix. So I think
exactly.
the first step towards healing, the first step toward accomplishing something great is acknowledging it.
It's
So
acknowledging it.
kudos to
Yes.
you. Congratulations, congratulations. And thank you so much, Gabriela,
Thank you,
for
Kumar.
this wonderful conversation. It
Absolutely.
was an
Always a
honor
pleasure.
and such a pleasure
It's an honor to
receiving
be
you.
here.
I know this is
Yes,
going to be the beginning of so many different things we are going to do together, God
absolutely.
willing. And we thank our audience for tuning in. I'm so curious to know your comments. What do you
Yes,
think? And Gabriela, how can people reach you? I know you are on social media. You're on
yes.
Instagram,
So we are on Instagram.
MEAP.
Yes, girls L.E.A.P. Also, our Facebook is
Okay.
www.girlsleapcolumbus.org. So yeah, you can reach us through the Facebook and our website, and of course Instagram. That's another area of challenge that we're facing, finding a good way to manage our social platform. So we are working on it. We're making
It's
progress.
not easy.
It's not easy.
For NGOs, especially where we don't have a lot of money, because it's costly.
It
It's
is
costly
costly.
in time. It's
Yes,
costly in financial resources. It's not easy,
yes,
but it's going to happen.
it is.
Your girls are empowered in STEM. Ask
They
them.
are.
Maybe they can take turn to be
That's
community
exactly.
managers.
Yes,
Maybe
absolutely.
you
That's
can add them,
exactly
and
what we're working on.
they may be very proud to actually do it, because the kids, I found kids to be specifically very good
Oh, they are very
because
versed.
they
They
are
are
so
very
literate. They
versed.
are digitally
Yes,
literate.
absolutely. My daughter included. She's my tech person. So she does all kinds of stuff
Same
for me.
here.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
Thank you so
yeah,
much, Gabriela. Thank you
thank you,
for reminding
Kumba.
us
I
that
am
leadership
glad.
is about action, is about servicing, is not about title, and
No,
it comes one
this
person
is
at a time,
yes.
one
This is
by
work
one,
from heart. This is no
individually and
title. I
collectively.
already got the title. I already went all the way up there. I don't need
Yes.
that. This is just work from my heart, empowering and changing lives. So this is what I want my legacy to be. One day to sit down and hear their girls say, I am now the person that I am because of this program that I attended. So
Your
that's life.
legacy will be that, because you have already done so much, and so much is to come.
Yes, amen
We
to
just
that.
pray for good health and a long
Amen.
life. May
Yes.
God grant us with that. And then it's not even the sky that's going to be the limit.
No, it's not gonna be the
Thank you so much. And I think a lot of people will find hope, will find
yes.
energy, positive energy, will find inspiration in this show. This is my hope for you,
I
because
hope so
I
too,
know we
Kumba.
are
Yes.
going through very doubtful, difficult
Yes.
moments.
Very.
But what you are doing, it's a nice testimony to the beauty of human beings.
Absolutely. See
How we
humanity
can
in
be
everybody.
medicine, how we
Yes.
can be support, how we can be mentor, how we can be sister, how we
Yes.
can be brother to each other,
Yes.
regardless of color, regardless of regional. Uh, I'm from the African continent, you are from the United States, and regardless of language.
Yes. And our program, I
Thanks to
forgot to tell you,
English.
it was
English is
in
now connecting both
English.
of us.
Yes, I know, right? I need to practice more my French. I mean, I'm losing it a little bit. I'm like, I gotta practice that. But yeah, no, this is yeah, it's my program is inclusive, so it just kind of naturally led me to the population that I'm serving. But my doors are open to anybody. I have no restriction of, oh, I can only serve this girl or that girl. So And I've been grateful to have different, so diverse different community to attend my event, so I'm grateful for that. But more to come, Kumba. I'm working on getting that, sessions recorded, because we've had so many impactful sessions, and that we can have online for other people to watch that are not able to attend. So
It's a
I'm working on
twofold thing from experience since we've been doing it for 8 years. It's a
Yes.
twofold things.
Okay.
Just see who will be willing, because sometimes when people know that the camera is rolling, they may not open up as much.
I agree.
They may not
And that
share
we
as
try to
much.
create a
They
safe
may not be
space.
real as much.
Yes.
And we
And
need to see that vulnerability. We need to see that human side. We need
absolutely.
to see that true side. But sometimes when camera are there, people don't open up much. So
I
it's for you
agree
to
with you.
decide based on your experience and
I
what you want to
agree with
achieve.
you.
Thank you
Yes.
so very much,
Thank
sister.
you,
It was a
Kumba.
blessing and a
Thank you,
true honor
Elsa.
to have you. Say
I
hello to
agree.
your beautiful family.
I will. Thank you,
The
Kumba.
kids
Oh
that
my
I
God,
haven't met
you
yet, I
are
need
coming.
to
I
come
know.
higher.
We need to see each other. You need to come. That's right. Thank you
I
so
will.
much.
I am on my way. I will be there soon.
All
Hey, we
right.
were talking about the central reunion that
I
we didn't do.
know. We
That
need to
needs to
do this.
happen.
We need to make that happen. We
Hey,
keep
you need
talking
to push
about it.
Jackie. Jackie needs to bring it back on the table.
I know she needs to. Yes, exactly.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
Kumba.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Uh-huh. I appreciate you.
Mosoya is your trusted voice for change, action, and hope, building a world that's more just and peaceful. Every week, we bring you bold conversations and powerful stories from Africa and the diaspora, with a special spotlight from resilient and impactful women. Musoya is your platform. Please suggest topics, recommend guests, and trust us with your message and announcements.
Musoya, let's support womanhood.